Hello YouTube, this is ChardarYuGiOh, and with the sneak peek for new challengers coming out tomorrow, I wanted to talk about how bad people think the Qliphort deck will be. Personally, I think it's going to be very bad for every budget or rogue type player. Decks like Mermails or Fire Fist or Boojans or pretty much any rogue tier 2 type deck loses really hard to Qliphort. They have vanities and skill drain, and they just spam beaters out that most of those rogue decks have no way around. Then there's the issue of the killer slash towers, their boss monster, that a lot of people are saying they don't even play it, it's not going to be an issue. But if it's that good against the tier 2 decks, why wouldn't they at least side one or two? Like, I think killer is going to see quite a bit more play in TCG than it has in OCG. The other issue, however, I think Shaddolls and Burning Abyss will still be able to keep up with Qlipforts, and those will be fairly even matchups. Shaddolls get their Earth fusion, which helps them hold their own, and Burning Abyss just have so much chainable back row that they can break your scales, they can kill your tool really easily, and they can just grind through the deck. So basically, if you play Burning Abyss or Shaddolls, Qlipforts will be another meta deck that you will have to worry about, but I don't think they will completely bowl you over. If you're playing a Mermails or Statellanites or any kind of rogue deck like that, I think you're going to have a really rough time against Qliphort. So if you can side for them very well, Boojans can probably side against them pretty well between Kaiser and Honest and 3 Crane. They might be able to. But other than that, very few rogue decks, in my opinion, will be able to stand up to Qlipforts. So it's making the Reese of Qliphort pretty much makes decks that are already good better, and then decks that are not as good right now worse. So it's fine if you're playing the meta, if you're playing rogue tier 2 budget type decks. I think next format's going to be pretty rough for you, and I'm sorry about that. I'm playing Mermails, and Mermails have nothing against Qliphort. I'm sorry to say it, but Mermails auto-lose to Qliphort. That's just the way it is. One other distinction between TCG and OCG that I think is very important for the Qliphort versus Burning Abyss matchup is that we do not have Heavy Storm like OCG does, which I feel that gives Burning Abyss an advantage, because Burning Abyss can now set 4 or 5 back row at once and get rid of every single scale you try to play, and just stop every play you try to make. Versus in OCG, where people only set 1 or 2 back row for fear of being heavy stormed, then Qliphort are a lot better in low back row types of meta. So since our meta is so back row heavy, Qliphort probably won't be as dominant here as they were in OCG, but rogue decks still have very few outs to them. So those are my opinions on the decks. If you agree, post comment down below. If you disagree, post comment down below. And peace out, YouTube.